Great. All right, everybody, we're going to get started. If everybody could grab their seats, we're about to get started. All right. Come on in, Rush. Great. Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Dan Correa, and I am the founder and the director of the Day One Project. Could not be more excited to welcome you here today for State of Innovation, Bold New Ideas for the Future. We are going to do just 3 things today, in addition to having what I hope is a great deal of fun, because this is a really exciting day full of exciting speakers. So the 3 items we want to make sure to cover are, first, we're going to launch the Day One Project formally, which is dedicated to democratizing the science and tech policymaking process and cultivating the next generation of science and tech leaders for public service. 2, we're going to hear from an incredible array of compelling speakers across science and technology policy domains who are going to offer up big ideas and food for thought that can help us think about this particular policy moment and what's coming in the next presidential term. And 3, we're going to issue a call to action. We're going to discuss how everyone, both here in the room, who's following along in the live stream, and across the broader community, how we can all participate and contribute our own ideas to the process. And we'll be saying more about that throughout the day. Now, before we jump right in and I introduce our welcome speaker, wanted to also offer up a quick thank you. First of all, to our partners, obviously the National Academies for having us here, the National Science Policy Network and Lincoln Network, and mostly also to the Federation of American Scientists and President Ali Nouri, who has incubated us and provided us a home and supported us as the Day One Project and gotten us to this day today. So a couple logistical items. First of all, we've got a jam-packed agenda. We're going to move quick. So we've got lots and lots of speakers. So we're going to try to keep us on time. We will not be offering time for audience Q&A, but we would welcome you to participate through conversations in the breaks, as well as online using the hashtag #DayOne. Folks following along on the live stream can join the conversation, offer up your thoughts and ideas, and we will be sure to integrate them through the sessions with the moderators. Second, restrooms are out the door to the left, and take a left at the exit sign. Third, Wi-Fi is available. It's just NAS guest. There's no password. And finally, we'll be having a happy hour at the end of this, scheduled 4:30 or 5, at the Hive Bar, which is just a few blocks away at 2224 F Street Northwest. And with that, that's our kickoff. And I'm delighted to welcome Marcia McNutt, the president of the National Academy of Sciences, to give us a welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Dan. It's a pleasure to see so many longtime friends here today for the kickoff of what, in my mind, is one of the most exciting projects that I have seen in a very long time. I, first of all, want to begin by thanking all the wonderful people and groups that have made this happen. The Federation of American Scientists Day One Project that has spearheaded the effort, the other partners of the Federation, including our own national academies. I don't know what that is. New Voices in Science, Engineering, and Medicine, as well as our Science and Technology for Sustainability program. I also know that the Lincoln Network and the National Science Policy Network have also played a critical role in bringing about today's event and in sponsoring the project. And there are many professional scientific societies represented in the room today who are also helping with this launch. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the National Academies, the National Academy of Sciences was founded during the darkest time of the Civil War. It back in 1863, If you recall the battle between the Monitor and the Merrimack, not far from here, the Battle of Hampton Roads, two ironclad warships battled to a draw with the cannonballs bouncing off the sides of either ship. When word came back to Lincoln that this battle had taken place, Lincoln immediately recognized that the history of warfare was forever changed. And he also thought and understood that he needed to have the scientists on his side. So as Congress was recessing, he got through a bill at midnight that night that chartered the National Academy of Sciences that would be a nonprofit, non-governmental organization that would provide advice to the federal government whenever asked on any matter for which evidence could provide for better policy and better decisions. So for more than 150 years, that is exactly what this organization has been doing. We select our own members through a very rigorous election process, and we call upon a vast network of volunteers to help us provide that advice to government. We have staunchly protected our reputation as nonpartisan over those 150 years, serving equally all administrations in giving that advice. I'm particularly excited about this project because when I read about it, I remembered back just a few years ago, I was at a dinner sitting next to Lamar Alexander, and he was commenting on an Academy report that had been particularly impactful. And he said to me, what really is important is coming up with the good idea. And that is what the Academy did with this report. They got together a bunch of really bright people and they came up with the good idea. And then the Congress was able to run with that good idea and make something important happen. And the Day One project basically unleashes the creativity and the innovation of people everywhere to come up with good ideas and submit them. Now, we all know that turning good ideas into actual changes and better ways for government to work or better ways for society is not always easy. But that's why we always have a filtering process. We take those good ideas and we see which ones can actually make it, which ones are practical, which ones are implementable. And as I was preparing to speak to you this morning, I got in my email randomly this message from a young engineer from, of all places, Egypt. And this young kid from Egypt says to me, I have an idea that I think the U.S. should pick up. And in it, he describes how hospitals throw away billions of dollars of expired medicines every year, billions of dollars worth. And he said those billions of dollars of medicines could be helping people who can't afford to pay for their medications if we could get them to the people who need them before they expire. And when they are thrown out, they are a problem for the environment because of the issues with endocrines in the environment and things like that. He said, couldn't there be a win-win situation of finding a way to use these medicines before they expire for the people who really need them rather than just throwing them out? And I thought, here's a good idea. And he goes on with his solution for how to get the medicines before they expire to the people who need them. So, there are good ideas everywhere, even people in Egypt. So this is what the Day One project is all about, so I'm really excited.